Hello everyone. So today I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a good old-fashioned story time video. And this is something I've had written down in my notes for a really long time. And yeah. So I guess let's get right into it. So last semester for school, I was in an acting class. And in this acting class, we had a couple of projects to do. Obviously, since it's, an acting class, and any class you have projects, what am I saying? But this specific project was called it was like the fourth wall exercise or something like that. And basically the rundown of it is you had to go up on stage and pretend like you were in a phone call with somebody. So you had to pick the person you were on a phone call with, pick what you were talking about, and, all that good stuff. Well, we had probably about a week to prepare for like maybe 2 minutes of just a phone call. I don't make phone calls to anybody. I find it very awkward, and I'm just like, no. So I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't make phone calls. This is super awkward. I'm like freaking out. I didn't prepare at all, and we were very much supposed to. The teacher actually told us, she was like, if I think that you are improvising it, I will tell you to go and do it again. Well, I had maybe done like an hour's worth of running lines through my head that I could say. But other than that, I did no preparation at all. Funny thing is, teacher never knew. She didn't notice. She didn't make me redo it. She made other people redo it who were way more prepared than I was. And I got a really good grade on the project too, and I'm just like, I don't deserve this. And another acting class story, because I realize this video is not going to be very long, is that at the end of the semester, the teacher also taught a playwright class. And all of those students had to make like a 10-page play or something like that. And I decided that I wanted to be a part of one. And this one guy's play really caught my eye. Or I guess ear? I really don't know. So I went and I auditioned for him, and appears to say he was not very prepared for anything, and so he basically, I only said probably about 2 lines, maybe even less, and he was like, okay, good, you're on for the part. I was like, cool. I was just gonna be a narrator. Like, it wasn't even like a play, it was just a staged reading, which is just, you have your script in front of you and you're in a line of people and you're all reading your lines. Anyways, so the auditions for the staged readings was about a week before the staged readings actually were taking place, since they didn't require any like prep time. Well, it took the guy quite a while to even like email out the script, and then once that was done, some mix-ups happened, and like, I guess we were supposed to tell him after he sent the script that we were good for the part, which I'm like, you told me I got the part, I shouldn't have to clarify this, right? Like, anyway, so the day of the staged readings came around, and it was a Thursday, and I went into class on that Thursday, and I was like, I asked the teacher, I was like, what day am I going on for the staged readings? Because they were all over the weekend. I think it was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday were the staged readings. Well, it was Thursday. I didn't know what day I was going in for the staged readings. And then she tells me, she's like, today is when you and your playwright and all the other people involved in his play are going to do it. And I was like, okay. I was not prepared for this. And so I'm just like, well then, didn't know about this, so yeah, that's great. So I don't even think I printed out the play at this point. I was literally just like, cool, I'll read it the day before. Nope, no prep time, nothing. And so I go home after that whole thing about like, oh my gosh, I have to go to this place today. And where the staged readings took place, I haven't even been to that part of town. So I was like, I don't know. Like, I was just gonna like use my GPS to get there. And so, like, I come home, I kind of make myself look at least kind of presentable. I had worn sweatpants to school, so I was like, I'm gonna put on actual jeans this time. So I get changed, I kind of, brush my hair, make it look a little bit better. So I call my mom, and I'm like, yo, there's this staged reading. I told her about it, and I told her, I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm doing it on a Friday, because I thought it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I was like, I told her earlier in the week, I was like, I'm probably gonna do it on a Friday. But I call her after I find out that, oh no, it's today. And I'm like, IDK, what to do? I've never been to this place before. I'm like, I don't know. And my mom's just like, call your dad, see if he'll go with you. So I do. I'm like, yo, father, can you come with me? Well, he was at work, and he was like, I don't think I can, because, I still have a bunch of stuff to do, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, well, great, I'm gonna have to go by myself to a place I've never been to, and that makes me very, very nervous, going to places I've never been before, because I'm just like, this is unfamiliar. Oh my goodness, I'm like freaking the frick out. So it comes down to the time I have to leave. And I go into my car, I put the directions, or the address, into the GPS, and I start driving. Well, I probably get 5 minutes away from my house, and I get a call from my dad, and he's like, I'm coming home, like, wait for me. And I was like, I've already left. Like, do you want me to just turn around and come home? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be late, but whatever. So I turn around, I go home, and I end up going, like, my dad ends up driving me there. Because, also, side note, the roads were really bad, and I think at that point I hadn't had my license for too long, and I got my license in the spring. This was around fall time. So here's to say I haven't driven in the snow very much at that point. So this is mainly the reason why he was coming with me. So we get to the staged readings. They're already going on, and I get there. I'm pretty sure I got there when the play before mine was going, because there was like a ton going on. So like the theater is like tiny, and there isn't a lot of people there at that point, just like, I guess, friends and other classmates. And so I get there, my dad goes, sits down, and I wait for a little while. And I have really, really bad stage fright, so don't ask me why I took an acting class, because that's all on stage. I know, it's crazy, but I was like, I want to learn how to act. So time comes for my staged reading. I get out my script, I go and sit up with everybody, and we start. Well, since I hadn't read over the script, like, at all, when I first emailed it to me, I skimmed it, and that's about it. And so I was just like, the guy made so many typos. Like, there were so many, like, mistakes. And at one point, I think he accidentally wrote down the wrong name for one of the lines, because I was, like, my role was female narrator. And then there was female hero, because it was kind of, I don't know, I don't even know. It was an interesting play. I, like, looked through the script really, really quickly, and I catch that my name, or my character name, is on there twice. and I'm like, I lean over to the girl next to me who's playing the female hero, and I'm like, am I supposed to say this line? Because it makes no sense. And she's like, yeah, just say both lines, because, you know, your name is on both. And I was like, it doesn't make sense. I didn't have time to ask the playwright, so I just have to say both lines. And I was just like, this guy, so many typos. Oh my goodness, so many mistakes. And I was like, isn't this your like semi-final draft of the play? And I don't, Anyway, I guess to wrap up this very, very long story. So I guess the moral of the story is, don't procrastinate on doing your projects, because it will stress you out very much. And also, don't work with very unprepared playwrights, because it's really awful. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe to me to see future videos, and I hope you're all having a lovely day, and keep your head towards the skies. I'll see you next week.